Welcome. Finally made it. I'm pretty sure I made it. Oh my goodness. All right, we're here for the Psychic Skills Activator. This is your key psychic activators in your enhanced perception and how to get the clarity and keep it so you don't want to hide away forever and never come out again. So if you should have your Psychic Skills Activator workbook. If you don't have it, totally okay. Just comment workbook below and you can register so that you can grab your Psychic Skills Activator workbook to go alongside it. Now, obviously you don't have to print it out. There's a lot of ink, right? So you can just miss printing, just skip page 1, or you can take it to a print shop and get it printed out. You can see even my printer was all the inks come out. Okay, so welcome. Thank you for your patience in me arriving. I was like, oh my goodness, what is happening this morning? And there is, I just really want to acknowledge that we're doing this first Psychic Skills Activator. And it's so interesting because I kept I set the dates, changed it, set the dates, changed it. This is the 3rd date change, right? And I was like, what is going on here? And then last week when I was going to hold it, and then it was Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh, is that why I changed it again? And now we're here starting our 3-day Psychic Skills Activator course, and it's the full moon tonight, peak tonight. So we're in it, we're in it, right? And this moon in particular, number 1 in the middle of transcendence for those of you who are in our transcendence group, and is also the 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days for myself of living in this house after exorcising the demons off the land. That's what the fuck I've been doing here. And it just feels like a really significant day. And we're holding this workshop 1, and I just really wanted to acknowledge that because it just feels like a really big, deep energy. We are activating your psychic skills and getting a deep understanding about how to fine tune your psychic skills, what blocks them, what enhances them, what you can do to really work with the energies around you, what to do with clients, what to do with normal people, if you're in a normal job or you actually have a business doing this sort of work. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So like I said, you should have your Psychic Skills Activator PDF alongside you. If you don't, just comment workbook below or PDF below and I can send you that. Okay, so I'm just going to bring up the live stream here as well. Hi Sharon, hi Leah, awesome. Okay, just bringing this here so I can see the comments. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is obviously go through the Psychic Skills Activator. This is day 1. If you've got questions or comments, just pop them in. Pop them in as I'm talking and I'll go through and answer them as we're going along. Okay. So I've got my throat chakra colors here. For some reason I'm going to point this out, and the ear chakras. So working with throat and ears today as we go through our Psychic Skills Activator. There's more to it, of course, but I just wanted to point out that the throat and the ears are very present. Ear chakras with the pink as well. For some reason that's important. I'm sure we'll find out more. Okay, so pop your questions in as we go along. If it doesn't seem like I'm answering them, I'll answer them all at the end, or I'll tap into them as we go through. I do see you. Welcome. Let's begin. So welcome to the Psychic Skills Activator 3-day workshop. My name is Hannah from Reality Awareness. If you don't know me, welcome. Day 1, we're activating your psychic gifts and enhanced perception and awareness and balancing your soul. And this, I think, is where a lot of people, I want to say skip or forget this balancing your soul. I want to say balancing your soul and balancing your human self. Because when we're dealing with psychic energy, it's not just, we're not just dealing with psychic energy. We know that as a human, in this reality that we call Earth 3D, we are vibrating atoms. Anything that appears to be hard is actually vibrating atoms in different density, even us, right? At its core, it's all energy. Yeah? So at its core, everything's energy. And that's why when we're looking at our psychic senses, our perception in the world, understanding, picking up psychic energy, dealing with people's energies, world energy, cosmic energy, earth energy, earthquakes, etc. There's a place around like everything becomes part of the psychic world. And this is so important to always remember, okay? Because when we're dealing with people, psychic awareness, psychic energy, are we carrying their energy? Is it theirs? Is it ours? Is it what's going on? Is it an entanglement, right? It's really important to remember this simply because when we are interacting with somebody, it's all energy. Yeah, it's all energy. And so our life on a daily basis is all energy. Yeah. I didn't grab my, it's here, this one. I should have grabbed the pens and paper, sorry guys. I should just have this as standard practice. I kind of do, but it's on my art and craft table, so just bear with me. I need more than just the throat and ear chakra consciousness here. Kind of funny. Give me the whole rainbow. Give me all of the chakras. They're all important, obviously. Because I just wanted to draw this for you guys. So I know you know this, but this is like basic 101 stuff that we really need to be aware of. So I'm just going to draw it and add to it as we go through. Okay, because we all know that we have this with all the chakras, and actually there's thousands of chakras in the body. So a lot of people know the 7 chakras, or I teach the 8 chakras, you know, the crown, the earth star, like there's so many, okay? So everybody has an aura. This is the aura and this is the energy that sits in it. And every time we have emotional turmoil or trauma or something happens in our life, even good things, it sits in our energy field, right? And this is where the law of attraction works, vibrating different densities. Everything is different density, yeah, of energy. That's why, like, this is the reality we live in, yeah? So this is really important to understand when we're about to go through why balancing your soul and clearing and cleansing your energy is so important to psychic awareness, and how that is not separate from your physical reality, yeah? Okay, so in our day 1 of your booklet, we're going to go through these, yeah? So we get tired and drained because of a lack of self-care. So I'm going to go through these things of like these main 6 pieces of why we feel drained and tired, okay? Because if you are some sort of healing practitioner in any way, which shape or form, whether you read tarot cards online, whether you're an energy practitioner, a Reiki practitioner, a healer of some kind, I don't know, yoga teacher, massage therapist, or entrepreneur that helps other people, okay, this, like, you will notice, okay, especially if you're new to this, okay, when you have a client, when you do a reading, you will get drained. Like, you'll feel it afterwards. You'll be like, whoa, you know, and what's really important, or if you're having an interaction with anyone in like, you know, reality, yeah, whether it's passing in the shopping center or someone at school or workplace, like sometimes you can feel really drained being around a certain person, right? So what's really important is that your self-care needs to be kept up with, right? We'll feel drained and tired because of a lack of self-care. So I'm going off the booklet now. I'm going to run through them because I'm going to talk about them all at the same time. We get drained and tired because of a lack of self-care, okay? Self-care is basic looking after yourself. It might seem like a no-brainer, duh, Hannah, of course I take care of myself. And some people are like, yeah, I actually don't really take care of myself because you put everyone else first, yeah? Number 2, energy and chakra clearing. Okay, this is so important because this is going to keep your energy field clear. Because when we interact with a person, no matter which sort of person, even online, okay, we know that the energy knows no bounds. So even online, you know, we carry other people's energy in our, it's like we just, you know, unless you're like super conscious and really consciously working on it, you will just pick up, we're just like a sponge, okay? And so it just sort of sits in our aura, right? Whatever that is. And then if you're not clearing your energy on a daily basis, that will become heavier and heavier and heavier. And then you're clouded by all these other people's energies and you don't even realize. Now, going to come back to that in a moment. Other things that drain our energy is obviously EMFs, Wi-Fi, technology, and this is where being grounded and very conscious of your awareness of your energy and your physical surroundings, how much you're on your devices, how much you're on your phone, really important. It should be a no-brainer for you. I say this every time and people are like, oh my God, I do that. And I'm just like, how can you do that? In a way of like, energetically it's so strong. Like I've had people tell me that they're doing meditations with like the phone sitting on their chest while they're lying down. And I'm just like my heart, you know, like your heart energy. Like, you know, like I can't sleep with my phone. Like, you know, it's like on airplane mode. Even if I have it in the room, like sometimes I just need to leave it in my office, right, in another room. But having it on airplane mode, on the floor, down the other end of my bed, like, you know, like down my feet end on the floor. I cannot sleep with my phone on the bedside table, like in, you know, it's like right in the direct line of your head, right? Like you shouldn't have any technology at your head. Check where your bed head, like, you know, if you're sleeping against the wall, what's on the other side of the wall? You know, is it the smart meter box outside your house? Is it the Wi-Fi box in your house? Like, is it the kitchen? Is it the, like, do you know what I mean? Like, be so conscious of this, guys. This is so huge, okay? Yeah, there is so many earthing and EMF, like, what's the word? Like, I don't know, balancing is not the right word. Yes, there's always going to be replays for this, yeah? So the replays will just be in the group here. You can come and find them, no worries. So definitely, like, you want to check your surroundings, yeah? And then, like I said, there's definitely, I can't think, counterbalancing. Like, there's EMF protectors, Wi-Fi protectors, you know, if you can turn your Wi-Fi off at the house, you know, like turn it off at the wall at night time. Like, of course, you're still going to feel other people's Wi-Fi, etc. Like, you literally can't walk down the street these days without picking up a zillion Wi-Fis, right? We know that. There's even like specific paints that have come out that have the EMF protection in it, so you can paint your house, you know, with those things. You can build stuff into houses these days. There's clothing that helps count, like, you know, that protects you from the EMFs, etc. There's also what is it? Like, there's clothing, there's earthing mats, like all those things will help to really counterbalance the level of technology, especially like working online, for example, with myself, yeah? So, okay, so Julie says, I listen to many of your meditations at night before I go to bed. I need to get better at moving the phone away. I could always put it on the other side of the room and still listen to it. Yeah, and so like I personally like listening to meditations with earphones, like, you know, like just it's the corded earphones, right? Like, don't listen to meditations with Bluetooth. Like, just don't. Like, and I've got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth turned off on my phone when I'm listening to meditations, yeah? And again, if I'm laying down listening to it, the phone is like as far away it can be, like still on the bed when I'm listening to it, but it's like, it's away, you know? And that's why in all of my courses, you know, in any course that you buy from me, if there's meditations involved, which 99% of the time there is, excuse me, I give you the MP3 download. So when you log in on the members login in the course itself, there's somewhere in the course there will always be the MP3 download, and that is specifically because of what I'm talking about. So when you can download the MP3, pop it on your phone or device, that way you can listen to it offline. Yeah, that is why I am always giving you that. I give you the Dropbox link, I give you the SoundCloud link, but I also give you the MP3 for that very reason. Yeah. So I always listen to it like this, and like a lot of the time I will like if I fall asleep at some point in the night, I wake up like just to like, you know, I'm very I guess I'm conscious of it. Maybe I've trained myself that way. But if I have fallen asleep and I've woken up, like I'm literally like unplugging the phone, throwing it down, like sliding it along the floor down the end of my bed and going back to sleep, you know, like because I just don't. Even though they say it's not, actually I think there's things coming out recently where they're saying it is, but don't quote me on this because I didn't really listen to it, and I'm just like, well, I knew that. For me, I haven't had a microwave since I was 21. Like when I first learned about it, I just never had a microwave since. The radiation coming off a phone, whether it's on or off, for me, feels like a microwave. You know how when you say like, even if a microwave is unplugged, there's radiation coming off the microwave. Well, I feel devices are exactly the same. Hence why I'm just like conscious of how long I'm spending on it and then, you know, moving it away. I know I'm talking a lot about these EMFs and Wi-Fi's, but obviously it's really important because it's, you know, when we're looking at energy and our aura, these EMFs are constantly bombarding us. Yeah, like they're constantly, like we're in it. Like I said, like anybody knows that you can turn your Wi-Fi on a street and, you know, or in a shopping center, and you pick up, like you could scroll through the amount of Wi-Fi's that your phone's picking up, right? So it's a really big deal energetically into this, what we're talking about. You know, let alone where technology is going, and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi is the camera now. Like they've trained AI to see like who's in the house, where's in the house via the Wi-Fi. I don't even need a camera in the smart TV or device anymore. You know, it's like AI can see who's in the house, all those things just via the Wi-Fi. So turn your Wi-Fi off now, for real. So yeah, and just on that, you know, like in the future going into, you know, in 2018, I remember very distinctly sitting there working, and I was like, oh, it dawned on me. It was like Siri reads our mind via the Bluetooth crystals that have been created in our mind from Bluetooth. There's car Bluetooth. All of these, like we're made up of like 70 to 90% water, right? There's a scientific number, whatever, 70 to 90%. We're made up of that water. We all know about Dr. Emoto's research with water and what water holds memory and what we can program it with, yeah? If you don't know about Dr. Emoto's research, please just type water and I'll see if I can find something for you. So it's like with this awareness, right? Like this has already been, like how long has Bluetooth and, you know, Wi-Fi been around? Like our water patterning, let alone DNA structure changes, are already the signal. Like we won't need these soon, and people like scared of getting microchips. I'm like, we won't need microchips because the water, do you know what I mean? So, okay, there's a reason that I'm bringing all of this up, okay? Because when we're talking about receiving psychic guidance and intuition, and am I picking up someone else's energy? Did I think that? Was that my inner child? Was that my shadow? Was that my trauma? Was that the neighbor? Was that my partner? Was that my child? Or was that me? Was that my higher self? Was that my intuition? Like, there is like numerous places you're picking up information, energy, psychic information from. Sounds a bit fucking confusing, right? Like, that's a little bit too much, Hannah. Let's just take a breather. Let's just shake that off because it's huge, okay? Just gonna leave that there for a moment. We get drained and tired, okay? I wanna say we get drained and tired, but it's also like we get clouded, we get confused, we get overwhelmed, okay? And whilst it sounds all negative, I'm really pointing out these factors, because when you become aware of all of these factors, even though right now it might feel really overwhelming and just like, what the fuck's actually going on, because I can't. Just let me go and drink a bottle of wine or something. I'm just like, that's why people do this, okay? Do whatever addiction it is. You know, it's like, there's also draining relationships, unaligned actions. So for example, like saying yes when you really mean no, being dishonest with yourself, okay? These are all things that are gonna pull you off path and pull you in a different direction and pull you down in another direction, right? So when we're looking at, you know, all of these pieces, it's really important to understand that, number one, you're just learning this maybe for the first time, or maybe you're having a refresher and just going, fuck, I forgot about all these pieces, right? And this is like ABC basics of your intuition that is really important to know and understand, so that you can start training your skills to become really acutely aware with your enhanced perception and understanding of what energy you're picking up, what's it about, or is that actually intuition, okay? Then we've got traumas involved, how that, like, you know, clouds our reality and how we perceive reality all at the same time. So there's so much, okay? Number one might seem overwhelming. Number two, you're just learning. Number three, it's a skill, okay? Just like when you got in the car to start learning how to drive a car, it was overwhelming. And now you do things driving your car which you probably shouldn't be doing. And you don't even think about it because it's so natural to you. This is what happens here, okay? It's a skill, practice, 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 okay? So, just gonna check these comments and then I'm gonna go into the next section. So I'm reading from our Psychic Skills Activator PDF here. Okay, so, yeah, so lots of EMF counterbalancing tools, paints for your house, things you can wear, earthing mats, like things you can have in your bed even, like really awesome. So many things. And or just stand outside. Like I get into the habit and I definitely go through phases, but I definitely like go outside just before I go to bed, sort of like do all the nighttime routine stuff, go outside, just center in the pool, connecting with the water, connecting with the stars, putting my feet on the ground, just really being present with nature before I go to bed. Just things like that can make such a difference too, by the way. Can really clear your energy that way, you know, like when you're standing there. We'll just go through this now because it's one of the examples of self-care and being able to really work with your energy, because these things like clearing your energy, whilst there's so many practices out there that you can clear your energy, there's so many practices out there that are really quick and it becomes part of your routine. So just like when we're showering or brushing our teeth or washing our hair or cleaning the house, like these energy practices are the same. We just get into habit with them, okay? And this is, yes, really ABC basic stuff, but at the same time, these are the foundational pieces for having clear, accurate psychic intuition, yeah? So standing outside, either feet on the grass, on the rocks, on whatever, like no shoes, basically. Even if it's just a few minutes, okay, because you're busy, right? Even if it's just a few minutes, it's better than none. And done over a regular period of time can really make a difference, even if you're not really feeling it, but you know that you're doing what you're meant to be doing. And so that helps the energy shift too, okay? When we're like, oh, I didn't stand outside. Oh, I haven't cleared my energy. It's just like, whoa. Yeah. So standing outside, and it's like a conscious connection with nature. Now you can even do this in the city, okay? Because there's trees, there's plants, there's animals, there's ground, there's grass, there's dirt, there's rocks, there's stars, there's sun, there's sky, there's air, okay? So even if you're in a city, it's not like, oh, I don't have a forest to do that in. It's like, let me connect to nature that's right here and make that energy big, okay? So like, and just simply connecting, right? Putting your feet on the earth and like allowing the earth to, you know, like drain any negative energy, refuel, like, and as it goes into the earth, it's transmuted, okay? And it's like, you know, connecting your crown chakra with the stars, allowing that energy to filter in, or the sun, right? Standing in the sun and allowing the sun rays, even if it's cloudy, we know that we can still get burnt when it's cloudy. So it's like allowing the sun rays energetically through the crown, third eye, ears, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral base, whole aura, whole energy or bubble of energy, and just letting it cleanse through. Like, what did that take? Like, I don't know, 30 seconds? Did it just take me to say that to you? That's how fast it can be. Don't make it hard, make it happen. The more you do it, the more you'll want to do it, the more you'll stay there longer. Okay, sometimes I go outside and like to look at the stars before bed, and I walk down to the pool gate and I come back because I'm like, but then the more I do it, the longer I stay out there. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so Julie says about the meditations. I listen to your meditations at night before I go to bed. I need to get better at moving the phone away. So there's lots of different ways. Like I said, you can, you know, like get into habit of like waking up and then moving the phone away. Even if I wake up at 2 o'clock and I'm like, just move the phone away and I go straight back to sleep, because it's more about me moving the energy away, if you may, the device. But it's always on, what's it called? Airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth turned off, yeah? Hence why the MP3s, like I said, you could always definitely put it on the other side of the bedroom, 100%. And then someone said here as well about, what do I think about the sleep meditations? And you know what? I've seen the advertisements come up, probably Cyril will show me more shortly, with like specific Bluetooth sleep sound, what are they called? Like sound noise cancellation earphones. And I'm like, yes and no. Like for me personally, there's no way I could sleep with Bluetooth in my ears. Like correction, I could probably definitely go to sleep listening to a meditation with Bluetooth in my ears, but I choose not to go to sleep with Bluetooth in my ears. Does that make sense? Like I've definitely seen those advertisements. I've definitely like, you know, like some of those, not just sleep meditations, but like the different Hertz meditations, like that send you into really deep modes of all the theta, you know, beta, like all the brainwave states. You know, like they're really powerful. They're really, really powerful. However, for me personally, again, even when I sit there and I listen to those, I've got it on airplane mode and I'm listening with corded earphones, just because, and I don't know if, like 100% I could do it with Bluetooth. Like, let's be real. Like when I was in the hospital after the dog attack and I could just hear everyone in the hospital, I'm like, I borrowed my friend's AirPods because I didn't have mine. And I was like, just let me, like I put the noise cancellation on and I was just like, let me just be in my space, like, you know, and so I did it, okay, like, but if I have a choice in bed or anything like that, or if I'm meditating on my cushion, it's definitely earphones like this. It's not that I can't, it's that I just choose not to, because the Bluetooth is just an energy on its own. And if I'm going into like deep and, you know, opening my psyche and my consciousness and my subconscious, like into these states, I'm like, you know. So it's not that you can't, it's just that I personally choose not to, and I wouldn't ultimately recommend it if you can get away with not doing it, yeah? So Leah says, the smart meter box, even though it's the old one, I can't get a good night's sleep in my room. Currently sleeping in my room. First time in 5 years I've actually slept soundly in the house. Yeah, interesting, right? They've tried to update it to the newer model and I've put a padlock on the box, won't have it. Awesome. Yeah, it's so important, like, just to have that awareness of where the electricity boxes are, the smart meter boxes, like just where those cords are even in your house. So trust your intuition. So trust your intuition to be a certified intuitive healer. Investment increases in just a couple of days. We start in 2024, February 2024. So the early bird investment increases. That's our 9-month certification course. And in that training, obviously it's very in depth compared to what we're talking about in this 3-day workshop. But in that, in the Trust Intuition course, I go into like, there's a lot of psychic skill classes in ways of training your intuition. One of them is really like expanding your awareness. And I am jumping to, where are we? So I'm jumping to our 3rd page on our day 1 here. I'm jumping to right at the end. Enhance perception and awareness. Yeah. The crucial enhanced perception awareness areas I need to be aware of is the north, south, east, west, the above and the below. Now, if you're in reconfiguring energetic codes or transcendence, you would definitely know these energies. But this, you know, awareness, right? And if you do my chakra clearing free meditation and we tap into the north, south, east, west, the above and the below, even if you're like, oh, I don't know where north is, it's like your north, your south behind you, your east, your west, your above and your below. That creates like a diamond of points around you. Yeah, again, you can really connect to the proper true north or just your north, okay? The reason why the north, south, east, west, the above and the below, not only does it create like a diamond of protection, the point in the middle actually acts as like a healing scepter, right? So if all those points come and meet in the center of your body, where do they meet? Is it your heart? Is it, you know, and you can really use this. This is another chakra clearing and healing scepter that's really easy to do. Like all these things that I'm telling you right now is how fast you can quickly do it. And of course you can spend longer time with them. But again, I'm like, reality awareness, like we're living in reality, don't make it hard, like make it happen. Yeah. And so the healing, the meeting point of the north, south, east, west, the above and the below in your body, you can direct it where you want it to go. So say if you need to clear chakras, you can, like, it's like a ball of light. On what color of light does it meet, or is it a sacred geometry shape that meets in the middle of you? And you can literally like ask it to clear chakras and move through each of the chakras, clearing, activating, and then expand through your whole body and aura, right? And when I say that, it's like pushing everything out that's not yours, right? Really awesome chakra clearing, just like that. Then there's also so like pushing it all out, the center compass point, like in the middle, this meeting point, you can direct it where you want it to go, or you can say, where in my body does need the healing, please go to, and just watch and allow it to go where it needs to go. Yeah. The reason why I'm bringing this up is, number one, really awesome, easy chakra clearing. Okay, so like I said, I jumped to page 3, well, the 3rd page of our day 1 workshop, the last part, the north, south, east, west, the above and the below. That's the enhanced perception pieces there. When we're in this space, okay, this not only clears our energy, it's an awesome tool of protection. Like, you know, that diamond shape can really protect your energy as well. And you're anchoring into the, you know, 6 directions. Really powerful, like travel portal. So many things you can do with it. When we're talking about this, north, south, east, west, the above and the below, it creates a protection, a vortex around you that strengthens your aura, but also it's a muscle that you have this awareness now of your aura. Like, where is the outside edge of your aura? Like if you've got a bubble, if we've got a bubble around us, right? And this bubble expands, like you can feel it. Like tune in now as I'm talking. Like where is the edge of your aura? Like it might be really thin. You might be like, oh, it's just there. Or it might be, you know, you can just tune in, just like feel it. Like you can even just know, maybe you can literally feel it. There is different layers in your aura as well. So depending on how, you know, much you want to train your psychic skills, you can like feel the layers. How big, how little is it? Is that a layer? Is that the edge? Where's the edge of your aura? Okay. It's a bit like when you're lining up in the supermarket or other shop or something, and you're standing there, who does this? And you're just standing there in your own little world, waiting for the assistant. Is there going to be assistants anymore? Anyway, don't get me started. And you can feel when somebody walks up behind you and they step into your aura, and you're like, and you like, who does that? Like, who moves forward? Like, you step, you step forward. Does that make sense? You're like, get out of my aura. Like, you can feel it. Yeah. And this, again, is a skill. And now you have this enhanced perception awareness, north, south, east, west, and, expand through your aura. And by the way, you could do like a little meditation practice to increase your psychic awareness of your aura, simply by sitting there and literally like, how big is it? Like, where is it? What's in it? Like, you could literally like scrape through and clean out anything that's not yours while you're standing on the grass outside or whatever. Yeah. In the water, in the shower, like, okay, just cleaning my aura. Yeah. Out. And then expanding, from the inside out. Yeah. Filling your body with light, filling your aura with light, and from the inside out, pushing everything out that's not yours. Yeah. So the reason that I am bringing that to your awareness is because then we have, like, this is a muscle. It's a muscle. It's a skill. Okay. And when we have this, and we're training ourselves with that aura, number one, it gets very strong. And then we become really acutely aware when, for example, someone's sending us negative energy because they're gossiping about us, or something happened or whatever. And instead of like that gossiping energy coming in through your aura and hitting your head, because the thing that happens is that your brain then, like, it's like this it's like a spider web that I did talk about it, right? It's like a spider web. Your aura is like a spider web, okay? And as soon as energy hits your outside of your aura, I'm just going to use the gossiping example, okay? It could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, whatever. Somebody's gossiping about you, it hits your aura, and you're like, you might feel it. You brush it off. Maybe you don't even feel it, okay? I do talk about this quite deeply in my book too, actually. And then like your little brain receptors, because it's like a spider web of energy, your little brain's like, ooh, something's here. Ooh, what is that? Ooh, and if you're not conscious of it, your subconscious is still trying to figure it out. And then it might hit you, your physical head, for example. And then those gossiping thoughts come into your brain. You're not conscious of it. And so then you start going on a negative cycle and spin because you're not conscious that someone's gossiping about you negatively. And then you're like, and then you feel like shit, and then it goes down and we spiral down. Right? And actually wasn't even fucking you to start with. Okay? Really, really important. So when we're looking at that, it's like pulling this, like when we have this strong aura and we're really strengthening our aura by doing all these different practices. And like I said, there's millions of them, and I teach quite a lot of them in Trust Intuition because this is really important to build these skills, these muscles, right? When we have this enhanced perception awareness, north, south, east, west, the above and the below, we're really building our energetic aura. We're building our awareness into our energetic aura. This piece is like, when somebody's gossiping about you and it hits you here, you can be strong enough at a point when you train yourself to go, what is that? And it might just be like a feeling that washes over you, and you're like, and you train yourself, you're like, where is that coming from? Who is that coming from? That's not me, right? But the thing about being that crystal clear comes from understanding how to take care of yourself with these points we've been going over. Yeah? It's like a checklist, right? Where's my self-care levels? How much sleep have I had? Where was the Wi-Fi box? How much time have I had on the computer? Am I being honest with myself? Am I out of alignment? Like, all those things are going to cloud you, and so you won't be so conscious of it. But if you're living in truth and integrity, if you're listening to your intuition, if you're looking after yourself, you will pick it up when it hits out here, so you don't spiral down and get clouded and all the things. Yeah? Really important. Okay. Again, the final little stage of this piece that I started going on to, because we're talking about smart meters, Wi-Fi boxes, being aware of where your devices are in the house, any I want to say machinery, appliances in the house, just being conscious of it, okay? And it's not like you have to be anal conscious every single second of every single day, but when stuff's going on, it's just whoa, let me just have a check in here. Let me just clear the field. And clear the field in your house too, right? So, so another like enhanced skill is like, you've got this awareness, north, south, east, west of your bubble, etc., etc. And then it's like, where is all of the wiring in my house? Now you might physically know this if you have the plans of your house, if you're an electrician, like all those sort of thing, okay? Like, but this is like a psychic skills training. Where is the wiring through my house? You might know logically like, oh, there's a power point. Okay, I know that actually goes up there because the electrician came once, whatever. And you know, it's not that you have to know this stuff, okay? This is training your intuition, right? Like if I was to see through the walls of my house, what am I seeing? Okay, and this is part of like we haven't got to this part yet, the 4 psychic organs, okay? I'll go through them in a moment, but I just want to say like, where am I seeing? And a lot of people immediately go, I don't see. And I'm like, don't ever fucking say that to me again. The other thing is like when we might not see, but we're going to feel it, or we just know. I just know that a cord goes up there. Like, do you need proof? No, you're going to trust yourself and that's going to strengthen. Just like, for example, I haven't had many snakes around in the past 18 months, which has been amazing, and huge energetic stuff shifted because of that. Anyway, whole nother story. But the point is that, I don't know, a couple of months ago, I went out to the shed where my car is in the garage, and I lifted up the garage door, and my intuition was like, it was just like a radar. It was like, oh my God, there's a snake in here. Like, you know, like other days I just open the shed, get in the car, didn't even enter my mind. But it opened it and I was like, like it was just so strong. I was like, there's a snake. And I stopped because when I open the shed door, sometimes I can hear them start moving, like they're slithering around, right? Sorry for those who've got snake stuff. And I was listening and I couldn't hear anything, but I could feel it. Like it was just, I could feel it. So, okay, I'm going to talk about the clairs as I'm talking about this. These are your 4 spiritual organs. There is many more, just like there's many more chakras, but we're focusing on the 4 basic main, like foundational pieces you must know. So there's your clairsentience, it's your feeling. Okay, and you'll be strongest in one of these, so pay attention when I'm talking. And I opened the shed and I could just feel it. Like I said, it was just like, and I was listening and I could feel it. It was so strong, and I haven't felt that for quite some time, so it was very noticeable. But I couldn't hear it, and I sort of peered in and I was like, couldn't see. And I like ran to my car, jumped in and like pulled the car out, shut the door. No joke part. And I was like, anyway, I had to go out, did my thing, didn't think anything of it. 4 days later, I opened the garage door, and like laying on the ground was like, it was probably about 9 or 10 foot long skin. Like the snake had shedded its skin and the skin was just left in there, and it was like wrapped around the bottom of the shelving. And I was like, next time my intuition tells me there's a snake or any other sort of animal right next to me and I can't see it, I can't hear it with my physical perception, but my intuition is telling me it's there, I am a 150,000,000% trusting that that is true. Because that was literally like the best confirmation I could have ever had, and I'd forgotten about it. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, like 4 days ago, I freaking I could feel it. Yeah. When you are strengthening and trusting your intuition, when you're doing these pieces, like sometimes you will get confirmation. Usually it's not straight away. Like I said, I was like, I don't know, it was 3 or 4 days later that I opened the shed and then the skin was there, and I was like, holy shit, that was a big snake. You know, I was like, I hope it was just a python, but I wouldn't know just from the skin. Anyway, well, maybe some people know how to tell that, but I don't. So it's like when you are training your intuition, it is so important to just trust and know that confirmation will come later or it will never come. But the thing is that when you're receiving information like that, like, you know, awesome if you get such an experience where you can have that level of confirmation for you, awesome. If not, still awesome, you're going to trust anyway. Why? Because it builds the muscle, and the more you build the muscle, the more confirmation you will get. It might be a couple of days later, a couple of weeks later, a couple of months later, a couple of years later, and you're like, oh, I understand now. Okay, but the thing with trusting our intuition and having really clear perception around our intuitive abilities and knowing which is which and which is which, it is a trust and a continuation of a way of being, okay? Yes, meditation, sitting on your mat is powerful, and a training and a discipline, and I highly recommend it. And then also, you know, there's just the repetition, consistently, discipline of literally doing it over and over again, yeah? Okay, so whilst we are on these clair organs, okay, so clairsentience is your feeling, okay? Like I said, I could feel it was there. I also knew it was there. When we are, like, we've got the 4 main spiritual organs, we're strongest in one of them, but we're usually strongest in 2 of them. There's like a backup organ, right? So like I could feel it and then I just knew. And it's like my clairsentience and my claircognizance, okay? So claircognizance is your crown chakra. It's where you receive the divine ideas. It's out of the blue thoughts. It's associated with Archangel Uriel and his lightning bolt ideas. You know when you get like the out of the blue idea and you're like, oh my God, that's the best idea. Why didn't I think of that? You know, it's like, that is the best idea ever. Like it comes out of the blue and you're like, oh my God, all the pieces come together and it's so clear. It's crystal clear. It's crystal clear. It's crystal clear. Yeah. So when we have this like deepened perception and awareness and it's like crystal clear intuition and we get those out of the blue thoughts, like that's your claircognizance. Yeah. It's the out of the blue, out of the box, you know, and it can be like a lightning bolt, like it just comes in. And sometimes it can come in and then it's like you brush it away, or same with your feeling. You're like, there's a snake. I'm just making it up. If ever you do that, catch yourself and go, actually, it's real. I'm going to trust that. I'm not going to brush it off. Right? So if you're someone who always brushes off your intuition, next time you do that, you're not going to brush it off. You're going to go, actually, that's my intuition talking and I'm going to listen to that. Yeah? So claircognizance, clairvoyance obviously is something that a lot of people know of. It's your third eye. It's opening your third eye. And tomorrow we're going to do a specific crystalline chakra clearing third eye opening activation for your third eye. So make sure you tune in for that one as well. So, and you'll get the MP3 for that too. So you can listen offline, just like we've been talking about. So clairvoyance is obviously where we're opening our third eye. And there's so many like practices that we can do for all of our clair organs. Again, I teach a lot of them in Trust Intuition because it is a foundational base. Like there's huge, like it's so important, right? And this, you know, if you're hearing everything I'm saying for like the 10th time, you're like, yeah, I know this stuff. And it's like the most successful people on the planet always come back to the basics. They always come back to the basics. They always come back to the basics. Why? Because it's a foundational piece. And if you master the foundational piece and you master it over and over and over and over again, you're going to be way ahead of everyone else because everyone forgets the foundational piece. Okay. So when we're looking at our third eye and opening our third eye, it's a practice, and it's not just like our spiritual vision. Our physical eyes are also part of our clairvoyance. Okay, so people who see angel numbers, or they're like, I don't see ghosts. And I'm like, it's not just about seeing ghosts. I don't actually see ghosts either, right? But I'm very clear that if I'm giving a reading to someone, everything in the picture, so the selenite, the sword, the outdoors, the window, the walls, the crowns here, the textures, whatever, like everything becomes part of the reading. And if I'm sitting here reading and, you know, and then this lapis lazuli card jumps out at me because it's still sitting on my desk from the other day, I'm like, oh, my eyes were just drawn to that. I'm like, this is part of the reading. Like, this is your clairvoyance. If you see angel numbers, if you see number plates, if you see animals, if you see like, and you pay attention to them, like that's your clairvoyance, right? And a lot of people miss that because they think, oh, I'm just supposed to see ghosts. I'm like, you see angel numbers all the time. You see 11, 222, I don't know, 564, 564, 564. Like you see the repeated numbers, or like this is your clairvoyance speaking to you, right? So important to understand that. Clairaudience, this is where we hear our spiritual guidance, yeah? And this is why I include the ear chakras in the chakras I teach, because balance number, you know, clairaudience, like, and is hearing your intuition. If you count from 1 to 5 in your mind now, you can hear yourself counting. That's your clairaudience. So you're all highly clairaudient, because who didn't just hear themselves counting to 5? That's literally your clairaudience. Sometimes you'll hear like a song, or a song will get stuck in your head. Archangel Sandalphon is really connected to your clairaudience, and Archangel Sandalphon speaks to you through songs. So you might hear a song coming on the radio. So again, it's not in your head, but you're in the shop and all of a sudden it just sounds like all you can hear is that song. And then you Google the lyrics, like you Google like a tiny section that you heard and you're like song lyrics, and it comes up and all the messages are in the song lyrics. That's like seeing angel numbers. You didn't just see the ghost, you saw physical reality. This is hearing physical reality, because remember I said at the very start of this training that everything is energy. So everything is vibrating atoms, everything, like there's no separation between physical reality and spiritual reality. There's no separation between physical reality and our energetic psychic reality. Like it's all interconnected. Why? Because it's actually not physically solid. It's all vibrating atoms. And so there's no separation between any of it. Okay, this is unity consciousness. So that everything is connected. Yeah. And then the clairsentience. So there's the 4 spiritual organs. So which ones are you the strongest in from what we've been talking about? Okay, so just checking through these comments here. Okay, Leah says, I sleep with them as I live in an industrial site and a busy main road. I can't sleep with all the noise. Yeah, so, you know, and like I said, there's always exceptions like that, like 100%, yeah. Okay, that's where I use a lot of meditation when I sleep. I thought it was helping, but it seems I'm learning something different. And, you know, and like I said, like there's always a different time and a place. Like, you know, like, I mean, like I live out in the middle of nowhere. If I was next to a busy road, I probably would too, but I would be more inclined to use these, yeah? 100%. Okay. And usually on my smart TV. Yeah, and so it's just like, you know, it's this experimenting around, you know, like I said, like sometimes you just need that, and other times maybe you can try other things, yeah? Like, remember, I don't even know if they sell them anymore. Like, remember when we had iPods? Like, we had our phones and then there was an iPod and it was just literally for music. Like, I think something like that is kind of awesome too, but these days we can do it with just turning it off, as long as you got the MP3, which not everyone provides the MP3 for things, right? So it's a little bit tricky. But again, it's just being conscious of it, you know? So if you do need that and you're sleeping with heaps of Bluetooth or whatever's going on, it's kind of like, how can I balance that in nature? Like 2 hours spent in nature with your feet on the ground or in water, or, you know, 2 hours resets your energy field. So when you've got that awareness that even if you're spending 5 minutes on the ground, like you're just conscious of the output and input to the EMFs, to the Wi-Fi, to all of that thing, to keeping your energy balanced and aware, and you're not just like clouded in all this tech, yeah? Sharon says, I do that. I use a checkout, not self-service. There we go. Those moments are amazing. Yeah, when you're like hearing, like all of a sudden it's just all you can hear is the song on the radio, or a conversation. You just overhear a conversation, like it's just all black, white noise, and then all of a sudden it's like, it's like this megaphone opens up just to hear the one conversation or that one sentence that someone said, right? It's a thing. Meg says, meditation music always is like in my ears, but it's not actually on. Subtle reminder. Isn't that so interesting? Like sometimes I will, like, you know, sit down to like work, because I always work with either the meditation music or music in my ears, and sometimes out of habit I'll just pop it in and I'll be working away and I'm like, oh, I didn't even put the music on. Sometimes just like a focus point is like kind of interesting. Yeah. Leah said, I had to swap ends of my bed because something coming down the wall thinks power cords from the solar panels. See, this stuff is so important to understand. And this is why I now also sleep in my daughter's room, or I needed a break from it all. Yeah, and just, again, it's this awareness of it, right? It's like sometimes we just put me in a different room, just let me sleep in a different position in the house. Like there's also the ley lines of the earth, you know, and how do we know where those are? And again, this is your intuition, right? It's understanding your intuition of these pieces too. Trusting your intuition with that. Okay, so coming back in order. So I really didn't do this in order, guys, but I trust that you're with me, and we're talking about the Psychic Skills Activator, our day 1 of these pieces we're going through in our workbook. And so trust intuition investment increases in a couple of days, and this is the 9-month course. So basically, like what we're doing here is like 0.111% of what we're doing in our Trust Intuition course, yeah? because it's like understanding, especially these basic foundations, like that so many people miss, you know, they're just like, I just want to see ghosts, or like, you know, let me be really psychic, please. Like, how do I be really psychic? And they miss all of these pieces, and you don't understand how much gold you have in your physical reality in your house on a daily basis, where you can be training your intuition. You know, all of these things that we've talked about, I'm like, if you use them on a daily basis, like your intuition's going to go wildfire. Why? Because you're working it. Like, yeah, so important. Okay. So trust intuition. If you want details of trust intuition, just comment trust below and I'll send you the details. The investment does increase soon. It's our 9-month course, starts in February 2024, and it's you don't have to be certified. There is the option to do your certification in there, but all of these tools, skills, you know, going deeper into the trauma layers, trauma woundings, all of these pieces. So we've touched on all these pieces today, but then there's the trauma wounds from your childhood, past lives. How do we clear them out? The yin yang imprints, all of those pieces, because again, they're clouding and having a certain perception of your reality, right? And the more you clear out those trauma wounds, the more clear your intuition is, understanding all the pieces that come in, like you get really clear with that, yeah? Okay. So 3 examples of self-care, okay, is something like sleep, water, exercise, energy clearing, right? Could be time out with connection with aligned souls, like here, where you're joining people who get it, which is, you know, in Trust Intuition, there's a whole tribe and community that you also join for the trainings. So, you know, it's all there. Because sometimes just connecting with people who get it is really soul fulfilling, especially when you're just awakening or you're just coming into these areas and it's like, I don't know anyone who does this stuff. And I'm like, well, you're in the right place. Definitely in the right place. Okay. Now, again, sleep, water, exercise, energy clearing, yoga, meditation, surfing, like whatever floats your boat, right? Surfing's awesome for me, but not everyone likes the water, so they would freak out. Their nervous system would be like on high alert. So it doesn't work, right? But it's like, what is your self-care routines? Know what they are, utilize them and use them. I've given you heaps of little, like, you know, tidbit bits that you can use in like a day-to-day basis that doesn't take long, and there's no excuses, yeah? So when we look at balancing your soul, clear, energized energy, like the cycles of my soul, the cycles of a healing are important to be aware of. Now, if you follow me for a while, you understand that I always talk about these cycles of healing, the timeline cycles. Now, whilst nothing is set in stone, when I've been working with people for many years now, I've noticed certain cycles of time. From when you first have your spiritual awakening, the first 18 months can be really hard when you're waking up to a new reality of like, you're conscious now, you can't go back to sleep, all the grief's coming up, and it's very normal to be crying a lot. It's also understanding like your menstrual cycle, or if you're a male, the menstrual cycle's in the house, and also if you're a male, you have your own menstrual cycle. Now, I don't mean that from all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, no judgment to it all, but what I mean by that is men have men caves, and it's so important to understand when you need that space, and for women when they need that space, and vice versa. It's just understanding the energies in the household, okay? Let alone workplace, blah, blah, blah. Now, you don't have to obviously ask people about the menstrual cycle unless you know them or whatever. But at the same time, it's just like understanding these energies play into effect with people's hormones, the way they think, feel, all these pieces, yeah? Then there's sleep cycles, okay? Depending on where someone is in their menstrual cycles, how much sleep they need, or how much, you know, it's kind of like the in-out flow. Then there's nature. Are you in winter? Are you in summer? Because in winter, we're going to need more sleep. It's a natural hibernation, right? It's like, let yourself sleep more, let yourself go in more, let yourself rejuvenate more. Like working with these natural cycles not only helps your enhanced perception around the energies that are playing into all of this, but it's also like working with the energies for healing, manifestation, you know, just being more consciously, psychically aware of the cosmic energies playing into effect in not only yourself, your life, your household, but into the collective consciousness that affects everywhere you go, right? So when you understand those cycles, it's remembering that you're not crazy, okay? But not thinking that you're crazy, because you're not. Remembering that everything is evolving, okay? So everything goes through a cycle, everything rises to a next frequency, everything dies, has a death rebirth cycle, yeah? Winter, autumn, what is it? Winter, spring, summer, autumn, like it's a cycle, right? It's constant, changing. Sometimes all in one day these days. But anyway, that's another conversation. And then again, check what else is going on in the world, right? As I said, like where are we in like the cycle of like, it's coming up to Christmas currently. It's like getting a bit crazy around the world. There's a lot of, cosmic stuff going on, like we're coming into Christmas. And so it's also like understanding there's a lot of cosmic stuff that goes on between October and January, even into February, March, April, the eclipse seasons. When's the eclipses on? When's it a full moon? Like it's a full moon today, at time of this filming. Like around like Halloween, the Samhain, like there's a reason that these energies are around. Then we're deep in Scorpio season, and then it's Christmas. It's like, it's a really strong collective cosmic energy. Like this plays an effect in relationships, in career choices, in everything that you choose to do. This is so important to understand and remember, because when we're dealing with these pieces, it's like really like they have an effect. So understanding where we are in the cycle on a collective consciousness, on a cosmic consciousness, on a seasonal basis, and it's not about blaming it. It's being aware of it, because it's also a factor. It's normal to be dealing with this level of darkness at this time of year. Oh yeah, it's Scorpio season, it's like been Samhain, like the portals are open, like be aware of it, dealing with the deepest aspects of the darkest psyche, like that's what we're dealing with here. Like, so lots of shadow works coming up, or lots of grief. I'm like, it's kind of normal to be feeling that. Go easy on yourself, right? And then looking deeper at yourself if need be, right? Like, where are you saying yes when you need to say no? Like, are you stepping into old roles, old patterns? Like, where are you needing to break out of, your trauma wounding? Where are you needing to do, like in trust intuition, like we do the trauma wounding, we heal these wounds through the modalities that I teach, so that you can do it for yourself and you can do it for clients. And, and it's like, you've got these tools for life, so that when we come around to these cycles and it's like, oh my God, what's going on? You've got the tools to reach into your toolkit to be able to heal, to transform darkness to light, to move to the high vibrations that are really available right now too, by the way. Okay. So we've gone through those pieces. And then this is the last piece around our day one activation. This awareness helps me to strengthen my psychic gifts and increase my energy, so that I'm not used by my psychic gift, but I'm more aware and perceptive of what my psychic gift is guiding me and showing me, also known as trusting your intuition and actually living the life your intuition is guiding you on. Yeah, really important. All right, so I've covered everything. Just going to check these comments here. If you've got any questions, let me know. Trust your intuition investment increases in a couple of days. And this is where we jump into so much more in depth than what we're talking about. Tomorrow, I'm really excited to take you guys through the third eye activation. So we're going to go through dismantling and understanding our third eye in depth, and then I'm going to take you through a crystalline activation to activate, open your third eye and heal the different parts of your third eye, because it gets damaged through different lifetimes, even this lifetime with certain things. And we're going to go into all the ins and outs about what damages your psychic organs, the clairsentience, clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, and being able to support your psychic organs just like you would your physical body and taking care of it. Your psychic organs also need this support too, yeah? So we're going to go through that tomorrow, and then the next day we have our day 3 as well in the workshop. So if you've got any questions, just comment below, even if you're watching the replay. So I'll just check these comments here. So Kathleen says, I scattered my dad's ashes last weekend. That's so huge. And when we got back, there were, where we were saying 3 dolphins came up. And when we were leaving the island, I heard a song from the funerals. Is that what you're saying? I took them as signs, 100%. And this is the thing, right? This is where, when we're living our day-to-day life, no matter what we're doing, when we are conscious of our perception and our awareness, this is the things that really come up. Yeah, this is the pieces that really, like, create our reality, but when we're connected to the signs and we're using our perception and our awareness and the animals or the synchronistic pieces, like that enhances, that gets stronger. We learn to trust our intuition more, the confidence in how we make choices, in leaving unhealthy situations, moving into our life purpose. Like these pieces really amplify. Yeah, so excited that you're picking that up, Kathleen. It's so important and huge. To scatter that ashes, like massive, huge. All right, sending lots of love. I shall see you guys tomorrow.